If your dog's favorite person is you, they'll let you know with their body language. Some signs are obvious, like following you, but others aren't so obvious, like what they do when you sleep. But here's the weirdest sign. A study from Japan looked at how dogs act when they reunite with their owner versus how they react when they see a fun toy. They found that dogs actually moved their left eyebrow a lot when they see their owner, but they didn't move their eyebrows any more than normal when they saw the toy. So if you want to see how much your dog loves you, take a look at their left eyebrow the next time you come home. Now here's the most adorable sign your dog's favorite person is you. When you get home and you're petting them and they're loving it, they'll often give you a smile and maybe have their tongue hanging out to the side. But if they're really loving it, they might roll over and give you their belly and ask for some belly rubs. This usually shows that they're comfortable with you and they want more affection from you. Now they might be rolling on their backs because they're nervous or itchy, so these other signs will help you know that your dog loves you. Like, for instance, where your dog looks at you. There was another study from Japan where scientists looked at what happens when dogs look in their owner's eyes. They found that dogs who looked into their owner's eyes the most had a 130% rise in oxytocin, which is also known as the love hormone. So if your dog looks at you in the eyes more than other people, chances are you are their favorite. This next sign is a little bit more subtle, but still super sweet. If you're standing up and petting your dog, you might notice them lean into you. It's a little sign that they love you and want to be as close as possible to you. And if your dog leans into you more than other people, give yourself another point towards you being their favorite person. But this next sign isn't so subtle and a lot more furry. Not all dogs like physical touch, but if your dog likes it and you're their favorite person, you can probably expect some big, sweet cuddles. Yep, little dogs think your lap is their personal throne, and some big dogs think that they're lap dogs. But even if your dog doesn't love physical touch, here's another obvious sign they might do to show you they love you. Bring you toys. This could mean that they're so excited to see you and they can't wait to play with you. However, that's not the only reason dogs bring you toys. If you've given them attention in the past when they have a toy in their mouth, they might have learned that when they come up to you with a toy, they get your attention. And it might even turn into a game of keep away. When this happens, people often wonder why their dog brings them a toy if they don't want to play with them. In this case, the real reason they're doing it is probably because they love you and they want your attention, and you chasing them to get the toy gives them exactly that. But if your dog doesn't bring you toys, here's another weird sign they love you. It's pretty obvious that when you walk in the door and your dog is excited to see you, they're likely wagging their tail. But have you ever looked at the direction their tail is wagging? Some studies have shown that the direction of their tail wag is often a good indicator of their mood. But before we get into what each direction means, if you love your dog and want to be their favorite person, subscribe to Doggy Digs so you never miss any of our future doggy videos. Now, when dogs see their owner, according to this study, they often wag their tail more to the right because they're so excited to see them. And this study also showed that dogs wagging their tail more to the left can signify that they're feeling anxious. So if your dog is wagging their tail to the left when you walk in the door, well, let's just hope you see some of these other signs. Next up is the messiest sign your dog's favorite person is you. If you're sweaty or you just put on some lotion, your dog might lick you. But licking you could also be one of the ways your dog shows you they love you. Licking releases dopamine and endorphins, which makes them feel good and helps them bond with others. It might also be one of the ways they get your attention. And if your dog loves you, that's often what they want the most. But if licking is the messiest way to show you they love you, this next sign is probably the most annoying way. When you walk in the door and your dog hasn't seen you in a while, they might lean into you or bring you toys like we mentioned earlier. But in their excitement, some dogs might throw all of their behavior training out of the window and just jump all over you. Depending on how big your dog is or how sharp their nails are, this could be cute or it could be painful. But hopefully you won't get too frustrated with them and be happy knowing that this is one of the ways they show you they love you. But this next sign is even worse than jumping. When dogs play with people they love, they get excited. That's great, right? But when some dogs get overexcited, they start to hump. It's not a sexual behavior when this happens, they just can't contain their excitement, and this is how they express themselves. It's sweet to know that they love you so much, but you'd probably prefer they express their love in a different way, right? So I gotta ask, what's the weirdest way your dog shows you they love you? Let us know down in the comments. Now thankfully this next sign, although maybe just as weird, doesn't involve any weird touching of you. We all know that a dog's strongest sense is their sense of smell, and dogs love the smell of their favorite person. And do you know what smells a lot like their favorite person? Their dirty socks, underwear, and shoes. If your dog's favorite person is you, you might find them sleeping on your dirty shoes or laundry. It's comforting for them because they're basking in their favorite smell, you. Now, if they're stealing your socks or underwear, they might not only be doing it for the smell. There's a good chance you chase them if they do that, and they love playing with you and getting your attention, so they might be doing this to get you up off the couch and into play mode. Well, at least for them it's play mode. But this next sign your dog's favorite person is you is the opposite of play mode. You might find that your dog loves you so much they feel the need to protect you. Someone tries to say hi to Papa? No siree. Someone tries to give Mama a hug? Not on their watch. Of course, if somebody ever does break into your house, you'll be thankful you have a protective dog that loves you. But I'll tell you what, even though my dog's favorite person is his mama, if somebody broke into the house with a tennis ball, he'd leave her for that ball in a second. We've got another sign your dog loves you that has to do with them protecting you, but let's get to this unexpected but incredibly cute sign first. Your dog probably knows a handful of words, their name, some commands, and maybe WALK or TREAT. But some dogs know their favorite person's name and light up when they hear it. They associate your name with everything they love in this world, and it makes them happy. Next up is a funny little way your dog shows you they love you, but other people might not appreciate it so much. There was a study done with 24 dogs to see what happened when the dog's owner interacted more with other people and other dogs when they were in the room. They found that dogs get jealous when their owner ignores them and pays attention to another dog or person. So how do you know if a dog is jealous? Well, these dogs tried to steal back their owner's attention and break up their interaction. Does your dog get jealous when you're paying attention to another dog or person? If so, then it's probably a good sign that they love you and they value having a relationship with you. Now, if you're their favorite person, sometimes they just might not be able to contain themselves when you're around. When all that love and excitement adds together with some pent-up energy, you might see your dog break out in the zoomies. It's a hilariously chaotic scene, but it's always nice to know your dog is happy. Now, this next sign that they love you is the total opposite of the zoomies. When dogs are around people they're uncomfortable with, they might have a hard time relaxing. They might pace or stand or pant and look slightly or even obviously uncomfortable. But if your dog loves you, they'll be able to relax around you. They may plop down on the floor and let out a big sigh like they just had a hard day's work, even though you served them their food and water in fancy bowls and you picked up their poop for them. It's cute, and it's a comforting reminder that they love you so much they can relax around you and don't have to be on guard. And many dogs love to be around their favorite people so much that they prefer to sleep in the same bed with them. This is a vulnerable time for them, and it's another sign that they trust you and they're comfortable with you. But it also might be a way they protect you. Dogs are typically lighter sleepers than us and are more alert to things that might happen in the night. We just had a baby, and our dog curls up in front of her bassinet like he's guarding her, which is the most heartwarming thing I've ever seen. Now get this, a survey from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine found that 46% of adults sleep in the same bed with their pet. Does your dog sleep in the same bed with you? Now, even if your dog doesn't show any of these obvious signs you're their favorite, here's another subtle sign they might give. Just spending some good old-fashioned quality time with you. Not all dogs wear their emotions on their sleeves. Some are just content to be with the person they love most, you. You might notice them following you from room to room or laying on the floor when you're on the couch just because they want to be near you. But if you want to see how to get your dog to love you more, watch 12 scientific ways to get your dog to love you the most next.